It's a beautiful day here in Johnson Creek.
Hello and welcome to Discover Wisconsin.
Known as the crossroads with a future, Johnson Creek resides about halfway between Madison and Milwaukee. Today we're taking a closer look at Johnson Creek just to see how far the city takes us. As a common rest stop along I-94, there's a lot you can do right off the highway. And that's where we begin our journey at the Johnson Creek Premium Outlets. We started our outlet trek at Lindt Chocolate, of course, and made our way to colorful Le Creuset, making a few friends along the way. With 60 outlet stores from the world's leading designers and brands, people come from around the state to shop here. So tell her, where are you from?
I'm from Hartford.
So this is pretty close by.
Yeah.
What brought you to Johnson Creek Premium Outlets today?
Nice hot day, nothing else to do. We're just heading through from Milwaukee to Madison.
Yeah,
right?
Johnson Creek Premium Outlets are right along the freeway. It's perfect for stopping in. What are some of your favorite stores here?
Adidas, Nike, Calvin Klein.
Calvin Klein.
Mm-hmm.
I love shopping, love finding new dress clothes for work, so I hit up Old Navy and Banana Republic and things like that.
Polo, Coach, Nike, all of them, really.
I was going to say, you're about to name all of them.
Yes.
Eddie Bauer is a must stop, and we're gonna head down to the Bath and Body Works.
I also like to cook a lot, so I ended up at Le Creuset.
Colorful store.
Yeah, I love all the bright like oranges and blues. It really just adds a pop to the kitchen.
What about Lindt? Have you been to the chocolate place yet?
Not yet.
Truffles everywhere you look. I highly suggest it.
Oh yeah, for the samples. And I usually end up with a little bag of truffles on my way out from there too.
So did I.
Yeah.
As the only Lindt store in the state, they've got all the flavors in one place. They'll even melt truffles right into their coffee for you to take on your way out. The premium outlets have always attracted visitors, but over the past 10 years, the community of Johnson Creek has grown considerably, and the boom in population has sparked a number of new innovations.
So the district has always had a middle school, high school. 4 years ago, we had the opportunity to build a new building and chose the monolithic dome style, safer for weather incidences, more energy efficient because it's completely concrete. This is the first dome school in the state of Wisconsin, the second in the Midwest. We have stem walls, as you can see behind me, and that gives us an opportunity to bring in natural light straight into every classroom. And so we have an opportunity to do a lot more things in this building than we could do there.
And another recent addition to Johnson Creek, the holiday tree lighting ceremony.
My entire family's involved with planning and making the outreach of the event. We're always really big on traditions, especially Christmas traditions in my family. My mom had a really big family growing up, and my grandparents are always really big on Christmas. So we always felt it was something that was always important.
Find other holiday celebrations throughout the state by streaming Discover Wisconsin anytime, anywhere. I'm heading to grab a tasty breakfast here in Johnson Creek when we return. Welcome back in Johnson Creek, here on Discover Wisconsin. Johnson Creek is home to some beloved classics, as well as new attractions, such as Breathe, Salt, and Sauna. If you haven't tried salt therapy, you're missing out.
The reason why Breathe was created was because I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I had a health practitioner tell me, hey, have you ever heard of an infrared sauna? And she said it will just help with circulatory things and to remove the toxins out of your body. When I was doing my research, I came across salt therapy, or halotherapy as it's called, and my husband suffers from asthma and allergies. He went in and he said, Lori, I cannot believe it. I can breathe. This is the first time that I was able to breathe without an inhaler or without a breathing treatment. There is something to this. That's been way over 1.5 years ago. He has not had to take any inhalers or any medications. He said, you know what, this would benefit so many people. We love Johnson Creek, and we decided to bring it right here.
A relaxing time at Breathe can help in so many ways. Now, just across the highway, resides a restaurant that draws in visitors with more than just their food.
It was actually designed by a pupil of Frank Lloyd Wright's. So he was not only an understudy of his, but he also knew him really well. And then this is the last place that he built. So kind of cool. So the name doesn't really fit the atmosphere whatsoever. The owner himself used to go to a place when he was younger with his grandpa, and that's what the name of it was. So he wanted to, kind of recreate the good times that he had with his grandfather. So he picked that name and kind of went with it. I guess I would describe it as the place that you can go for any occasion. You can go grab a drink in the bar on a Friday night, or you can take the family out for dinner, or enjoy the patio on a nice hot day. We have a Purple Rain Martini that's really good. We have a Cucumber Basil Martini that we use fresh basil that we grow from the garden. It's kind of cool to get to use those fresh ingredients in some of the drinks.
And across the street from Highway Harry's is a classic travel stop, and it's open 24/7. Whoa!
I know, right?
Thanks. That's going to be some calories. So I assume this is one of the things that brings people back.
Yes, it is.
Uh-huh.
So I'd say our bakery is probably the mainstay. We have a really good bakery. It's all made in-house.
I was eyeing up everything from the cookies to the cream puffs there. I didn't know they were this big. They looked smaller behind the case. You have a pretty wide variety of food on your menu here. I mean, your breakfasts are pretty legendary.
We make everything daily here. We have the soups, the specials, the salad dressing, the bakery, obviously, the bread. It's all made in-house.
So Josh, you said you've been here 20 years. You have some employees who've been here nearly that long, right?
Oh yeah, yep. We've had a couple servers that are going on 40 years.
Wow.
A lot of the mainstay bakers are 20 to 30 years. Got a handful of cooks between probably 10 to 20 years. We have a lot of staff. We don't really have a lot of turnover. You kind of got a family atmosphere here, and then you just see lots of families that come in on a daily basis that you talk to and you see, and that's probably what I enjoy the most.
Well, and that's what's nice about being located where you are. I mean, you're at a major crossroads here on Johnson Creek. All the locals come in, but you get a chance to meet people from all over the Midwest, really.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we have truckers that come from everywhere. Alaska to New York to Florida.
And this becomes one of their primary stops, huh?
Yep, I hear it more and more.
Well, I for one approve.
Good.
There are a lot of classic travel stops in our state just like this one. Head to discoverwisconsin.com to find more. And don't drive off just yet. There's so much more to see here in Johnson Creek.
I've been a member here at Milford Hills for about the past 10 years. I've enjoyed hunting all my life, and this is a very convenient and a great chance to get out and enjoy some hunting and shooting.
On the other side of the Rock River is one of the most well-known hunting clubs in the Midwest, with nearly 500 acres of upland hunting land spread over 13 different fields.
I grew up in a farm in southern Iowa, so I've been in the outdoors and hunting pretty much my whole life. I got introduced to it there. Been hunter and safety instructor here for the last several years with their hunting program.
But Milford Hills isn't just hunting grounds. They also have several shooting ranges, a unique trading post that's open all year long, and they serve up some incredible food in the pub or at one of their field-to-table events.
Milford Hills is just a great place to pass your time and have a great outdoor experience, whether it's hunting, shooting, enjoying some fine dining. It's all a quality, enjoyable experience out here at Milford Hills.
For something a little more fast-paced, this city has got you covered. Johnson Creek has become the place for motorsports, and these local spots are drawing all kinds of riders.
We call this the hobby that got out of hand. About
1976, we started with Rupp snowmobiles. From there, it just kind of snowballed. Unfortunately, Rupp went out of business, so then Polaris came along in the summer of '78 and asked us if we would be a snowmobile dealer.
John Hartwig Sr. and his family began the shop together over 40 years ago, driven by their passion for snowmobiling. They've continued to expand in the motorsports world, and John Hartwig Jr. continues the traditions his father installed.
So the trail goes right by our business here, and we can get to anywhere in Wisconsin if we have snow. There's 22,000 plus miles of snowmobile trails in Wisconsin, so we can get and go just about anywhere we want.
We tease each other that this is the metropolis of power sports here in Johnson Creek, because not many places you can go where there's 3 large power sports dealers all within a mile or so of each other. Rock River Power Sports is an exclusive Yamaha dealership, and we've been that way since 1996. We have a national presence. We have a race team, which is the Cycle Trader Rock River Yamaha team. That's really what has exploded our viewership, I'll say, probably past 5 years or so. The team travels the Supercross circuit and the motocross circuit, as well as we do Monster Energy Cup and a few other races. I think that passion comes from the power sports industry in general. Motocross was my pick because I have done it since I was a child, and my kids early on, about 4 years old, they all started riding as well. That's kind of what sparked my passion for it, but I really enjoy working with the consumer. Everybody has different thoughts on what passion is and what they're excited about, and I want to share that with them.
There's a lot of people around this area who love motorsports and power sports. What is offered around in this area that makes this such kind of a magnet for that?
We joke a little bit about, living in Crick here, and now we have all these power sports dealerships being sort of the hub of all that is power sports. I think we got good access to trail system. We're centrally located. When you look at our demographic and we look at crossroads to the future, it really applies to us because we really kind of sit dead center between Madison, Milwaukee. It makes it really easy for everybody to access us. So Crick is a great location.
It was easy for me to get here. Yeah. Now, what drives you in this business? I mean, what's your passion for this?
The products. I mean, and I'm an enthusiast. That's how a lot of us get into this business. We love the product. We love motorcycles. We love snowmobiles. We love watercraft. So you start a repair shop and you just start to take care of people, and it develops into this.
Rob has some very cool products like this one that you can test drive yourself. But watch your speed. These things can really get going. Want to see our team in action from behind the camera? Follow Discover Wisconsin on Instagram for photos and more. We're exploring a national historic landmark and what was once an ancient Native American town, next on Discover Wisconsin. We're back in Johnson Creek on the Glacial River Trail.
Yeah, I've been riding it since we put the facility up 4 years ago quite often. I've rode a bit before that, but pretty regularly I'll ride the trail, and it's a great way to get away from traffic. It's safe from traffic, so it's a safety trail. I can go along the highway here and not have to worry about traffic. A lot of the peers working behind me, they ride this trail quite a bit, so it's a very active trail for us truck employees.
Loyal and the Trek Riding Group are probably some of the most frequent riders of the Glacial River Trail, which runs right through town.
This is paved, so it's really nice. There's a few hills. We're in Wisconsin, so there's going to be some hills, but it's pretty easy to ride. For the most part, flat, really enjoyable. You can go as long as you want on this trail to connect with other trails. Far south is Janesville, and if you connect to the Wild Goose Trail, you can go past Watertown up to Waupun. Not to mention the trails that go east and west. Glacier Drumlin Trail goes pretty much Madison to Milwaukee.
And right near the Glacial Drumlin Trail is a state park with a deep-rooted history.
Astorland State Park encloses the ancient town of Astorland. Astorland was established 1,000 years ago as Wisconsin's first town. And the people that made the town came from America's first city, a place we now call Cahokia in southern Illinois. State Park was established to preserve the remnants of this ancient town.
Bob is a member of the Friends of Aztalan State Park, a group of volunteers that assist the Wisconsin DNR with maintaining and protecting this national historic landmark. They also focus on educating visitors and put on public events in the park all year round that also celebrate the Native American culture of the site.
Ho-Chunk dancers, the Wisconsin Dells singers and dancers, come here to perform and also talk about their traditions, because the Ho-Chunk were the ones who occupied this land when the first Europeans came. And they were subsequently removed to other places, but this in essence was Ho-Chunk land. One of the earlier discoverers of Aztalan itself was a man named Timothy Johnson, and he eventually moved to Johnson Creek and stayed there for the rest of his life. So there's a unique tie in between Johnson Creek and Aztalan, in that one of its first explorers made Johnson Creek his home. Johnson Creek is very close to Aztalan, and in fact could advertise itself as being the gateway to Wisconsin's first town, the site of Aztalan itself.
So the Founders Float is this really cool thing that the Johnson Creek Historical Society does. We recreate the trip of Tim Johnson, who founded Watertown in the early 1830s. He paddled down the Rock River, about 10 miles or so, to Johnson Creek, which of course is his namesake. He founded that about 2 years later. So basically they put in near Watertown, and then they all came down to Johnson Creek. The Founders Float up and down the Rock River was awesome today. It was beautiful scenery, and really, you know, everybody sees Johnson Creek, they see the exit, they see all the restaurants, and they see the outlet mall. When you're on the Rock River paddling, it's so peaceful, it's so beautiful, and it's Johnson Creek from a totally different perspective. So between the river and the highways and its position halfway between Milwaukee and Madison, Johnson Creek has always been a major crossroads. That's why they say now they're the crossroads of the future. And you see that in the development too, because with the premium outlets, with the restaurants, with the Pine Cone, which has long been a destination for a lot of people when they're on the road, you just know that Johnson Creek is a place you can stop, you can enjoy. You're in the center of everything and you're close to everything, and it's just a fun place, but it's more than just what you see off the highway. There's a lot in the town, and there's a lot up and down the river to enjoy too. So whether you're stopping for a quick bite to eat or a lap around the outlets, plan for a longer trip next time you're here. Stay a while, relax, and explore here in Johnson Creek.
Stream Discover Wisconsin anywhere, anytime. Continue the adventure on Apple TV, Amazon Fire, Roku, Smart TV, Chromecast, and discoverwisconsin.com.